Welcome to How to Cook That. I'm Anne Reardon and this is not an avocado. It's actually a dessert shaped like an avocado in a chocolate shell made without using any molds. To make this, let's start with an actual avocado and cut it open. And then you can see an avocado has two colours. They have the green around the outside and this yellow on the inside. So what we need to do is scrape out the yellow part very carefully, not going too deep because everything next to the skin is a darker colour. So you need to leave a slight border of yellow still in place so that you don't get any of that dark colour, and put all that yellow into one bowl. Then scrape the rest into a different bowl. And now that we're scraping down, you can see how quite dark green it is there. And if you mix that in with the rest of it, the whole thing becomes green. So that's why we're separating them. Scrape out as much as possible to make the skin all clean, and then put that to one side. Don't throw it out. Grate the zest of one orange. Make sure you get just the coloured part, not the white, because the white is very bitter. And then we also want the zest of a lime. Look at those colours, doesn't that look good? So now we have the two bowls, the dark and the light, and the light works out at roughly half the amount of the dark. And we're going to mix them with some milk, sugar, gelatin, and the dark I'm going to mix in with the lime, and the light I'm going to mix with the orange rind, so we'll have the two flavours in there. And all these recipe quantities are on the howtocookthat.net website for you, and I'll link to that below. The first thing you need to do is take some of your milk and add it in with the gelatin and immediately stir that to make sure you don't have any lumps, and then we'll just leave that for the gelatin to absorb the moisture from the milk. Place the remaining milk into a blender with the sugar, the yellow coloured avocado, and the orange rind. And you want to blend that until it is completely smooth. If you don't have a blender, you could use a food processor, or you could push it through a sieve several times and mash it all up, but you will find it hard to get it perfectly smooth if you don't have the blender. Heat the gelatin in the microwave until that's melted, and then add that into the mixture and blend them together. Now push the whole thing through a sieve just to get rid of any little bits of rind so that we don't have those orange specks all the way through our avocado cream. Then set that to one side. Repeat the exact same process with those same ingredients for the green part of the avocado. Once you've done that, then out of the green, take 120 grams and put that into a separate bowl. And then to the original bowl, add a tablespoon of lime juice and stir that through. This is just to intensify that lime flavour. Cover that one with a lid and set it to one side. Now take the chocolate and melt it in the microwave. And once it's completely melted, stir in the smaller amount of your avocado cream. Add in a little bit of orange food colouring at a time until you get a shade similar to an avocado pip. I was originally thinking of using chocolate for the pip, like a Lindor ball or something like that, but in comparison to the real thing, they're way too small. So instead, I'm going to use this avocado ganache. Just pipe some of that into a balloon, just for the bottom bit to be full, and then tie a knot in that so that you have a ball around the size of your pip. Place that into the freezer to let it firm up. Now take the avocado skin and add in some tempered dark chocolate. Just use the back of your spoon to spread it up the sides so that everywhere is covered and there's no gaps. Then once that's set, you can simply peel off the avocado skin, and now you have a chocolate avocado skin. I was really pleased when I experimented with this and it worked out because it's just really simple but clever. Next, I want to make a crunchy nut praline to put under the avocado when we plate it up. This is really simple to make. You just chuck some sugar and water into a pan, and once it comes to a boil, rinse down the sides using a wet pastry brush. Rinsing down the sides just gets off any sugar crystals that might be on the sides of the pan. If you leave them there, it can make it crystallize instead of being a nice, clear, crisp caramel at the end. Then you just leave that to boil. Tip some slivered almonds or nuts of your choice onto a lined baking tray And then once that sugar is just starting to go golden, take it off the heat and immediately pour it over the nuts. Now don't touch this. This will be super, super hot. It'll burn you really badly. Just leave it to cool. Into each chocolate shell, pipe some green avocado cream around the edge and the base. Then pipe in yellow in the center. Smooth that off using your spatula. Don't take too much time on this because you'll have to do it again in a minute. And then add in one of the chocolate cream centers. Make sure it's right in the middle and just push it down slightly. Then use your spatula again to make it look like it has just been cut in two and that the moussey cream is right at the level at the top of your chocolate. Run your finger around the edge to get off anything that's on the outside. Now to add some variation to the pip colour, I'm just putting a tiny bit of dark chocolate ganache and using some baking paper to spread it across the pip. Break your cooled caramel up into small pieces and chunks. This stuff tastes amazing. You could eat just this on its own. And put a spoonful of that onto the plate and then add your chocolate avocado dessert on top. That will really confuse your friends when you serve that up for dessert. Subscribe to How to Cook That for more crazy sweet creations. Click here for the no mold apple dessert, here for mini baking, and here for giant chocolate bars. Make it a great week and I'll see you on Friday.